Good to come your way once again as we continue our exciting journey in core mathematics. My name is Nana Yawedu, and you can call me Sir Nana. Remember to like this video, share this video, comment at the comment section if you find anything interesting or you want to ask a question. And don't forget to click on the notification bell and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be abreast with all videos that I'll put on the channel. In our previous lesson, we've looked at some questions in relation to parallel, transverse, and perpendicular lines that relates to angles. And in this lesson, we want to consider some real-life applications of angles. So we want to consider some questions that will relate with real life and how we can solve them. So let's consider the first question. So in this question, it says that Kwamina cuts the straight edge of a piece of wood, right, to make an angle of 45 degrees. So let's assume we put ourselves in Kwamina's shoes. Probably we are doing some woodwork, right? Or it's our profession that we work with wood. So let's say this is a piece of wood, and they said he cuts it at an angle of 45 degrees. So let's assume the angle of 45 degrees that he cut is here. So 45 degrees has been cut here. The question says, at what angle was the other piece cut? So we can relate with this in terms of angles, where we can have the line A and B, which is the line at the base here, A and B. And then we have a line that cuts a piece of wood, so this side is C. And then the angle here is 45 degrees. So we can, if we are relating to it in terms of angle, let's call this side M. So we can see that angle AMC plus angle CMB is equal to 180 degrees. I believe by now you know why angle AMC and angle CMB is equal to 180 degrees, because they are angles on a straight line. So these are angles on a straight line, right? So we can assume that this side is x degrees, which is AMC. So you can say x degrees plus 45 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So we can make s a subject, where we would have 180 degrees minus 45 degrees. So it means that our x degrees will be equal to 135 degrees. So we can conclude that therefore the other angle is 135 degrees. So it is up to us to be able to visualize a question when it's given to us in real form, like when it's talking about things that we do all the time. Visualize it, draw it out, and it becomes clearer mathematically, and we are able to solve it. Now let's consider another question. In this question, it says two angles are complementary. If one angle is double the other, find the two angles. So we must know what complementary angles are. Remember that we said complementary angles are angles that sum up to 180 degrees. So we can say let y be one of the angles. Right, so the other angle will be what? So the other angle, I hope you've guessed right, will be 2y, because it's double, right? Double means 2 times the angle. Now we want to find the two angles. We know that complementary angles sum up to 180 degrees. So we have y plus 2y to be equal to 180 degrees, right? So that gives us 3y to be equal to 180 degrees. So we can divide both sides by the coefficient of the y, which is 3, right? And then 3 will cancel 3. 3 will go here 60. So it means our y will be equal to 60 degrees. So it means one angle, right? So we say therefore one angle is 60 degrees and the other angle will be what? 2 multiplied by 60, right? So it's 120 degrees. So we multiply 2, which is 2y. So 2 times 60 will give us 120 degrees. So once we can visualize and write our information out, it becomes easier for us to go through the steps to solve a real problem questions in relation to mathematics. Now let's consider another question. This one says that two angles form a linear pair. So we know that a linear pair also sums up to 180 degrees, right? So when you have a linear pair, it's like having two angles that are on a line, right? Now they said that one of the angles is 3 times the other. So if one angle is A, right, then the other angle will be 3A. So we know that our A plus 3A should be equal to 180 degrees, because for linear pair, they sum up to what? 180 degrees. So we have 4A to be equal to 180 degrees. So we divide both sides by the coefficient of A, which is 4, then divide by 4. So it means that our A will be equal to 45 degrees. When you divide 180 by 4, you get 45 degrees. So one angle is 45 degrees, and the other angle will be what? The other angle will be 45 times 3, which is equal to 135 degrees, right? So we have one angle to be 45 and another angle to be what? 135 degrees. Now let's consider this one as well. So in this case, it talks about an isosceles triangle. So let's draw an isosceles triangle. So we know that an isosceles triangle has two sides equal, right? Says that, so it means that we can say let this side be x, this side be x. If the third angle is 50 degrees, so the third angle here is 50 degrees, find the measure of the two equal angles. So we know that angles in a triangle sum up to 180 degrees. So that implies that if I have our x plus our x, all the angles inside the triangle, plus our 50 degrees, it should be equal to 180 degrees. So it means that we'll have 2x, x plus x is 2x. It's like tomatoes plus tomatoes, 2 tomatoes, right? Plus 50 degrees to be equal to 180 degrees. So 2x will group like terms, so move the constant to the other side. So it's equal to 180 degrees minus 50 degrees. So it means 2x will be equal to 130 degrees. So we can divide both sides by the coefficient of the x, which is 2. So it means that our x will be equal to 65, because 2 times 65 will give us 130. So we can conclude that therefore the angles will be 65 degrees. So basically in this lesson, we've gone through a series of questions where we are looking at questions that relate to real life problems, and we've looked at how we can solve them. In our next lesson, we'll be considering some types of triangles which we call special triangles. Remember to share this video, like this video, and comment with some of the interesting things you find about this lesson. See you in the next lesson.